I was just a high school junior, minding my own business, when I found myself in a situation that still gives me chills to this day. It was a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary, until a sudden bout of stomach trouble sent me rushing to the bathroom. Little did I know, this trip to the bathroom would lead me down a horrifying path. As I pushed open the heavy, creaking door of the school bathroom, I was met with an eerie sight. The flickering, dimly lit room was eerily quiet, and the cold tiles underfoot sent shivers up my spine. The only sound that broke the silence was a chilling whistle, followed by a haunting hum. I turned to see the source of the sound, and my heart nearly jumped out of my chest. There, in the corner of the restroom, stood a man dressed as a janitor. His uniform was faded and stained, and he had a mop in one hand, a bucket in the other. But it wasn't the uniform that sent shivers down my spine. It was the way he looked at me, with eyes that seemed to pierce right through my soul, and a smile that was anything but friendly. I hurriedly entered a stall, hoping to avoid any interaction with this unsettling janitor. The minutes felt like hours, as I waited for my stomach to calm down. All the while, that unnerving whistle and hum continued, echoing off the bathroom walls. Finally, my discomfort passed, and I emerged from the stall, relieved that I could escape this creepy encounter. But as I was washing my hands, the janitor moved closer to me, still wearing that chilling grin. My heart raced as he said, "You're a fine young boy, aren't you? I've been waiting for you." Panic set in as I realized this was not just an awkward encounter with a janitor. The man before me was not a janitor at all. He was a convicted sex offender, pretending to be one, lurking in the bathroom of my school. My mind raced and fear coursed through my veins. I quickly fled the bathroom, not looking back, and immediately reported the encounter to the school authorities. The police were called and they apprehended the imposter, ending his sinister charade. I shuddered to think what might have happened if I hadn't acted swiftly. In the end, this chilling encounter served as a stark reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places. I learned that it's essential to trust your instincts, stay aware of your surroundings, and always report anything that seems amiss. The fake janitor could have been a nightmare come to life, but thanks to my quick thinking, it turned into a horrifying yet valuable lesson. As I left the bathroom, I couldn't help but glance back, my heart still pounding in my chest. The man was in handcuffs, escorted away by the police, his chilling smile finally wiped from his face. The lesson I learned that day was clear. Always trust your instincts and report anything suspicious. The only road I would ever want to travel down is the one that leads to safety and security. And I would never forget the unnerving encounter in that bathroom. I was just an ordinary high school student, navigating the ups and downs of teenage life, when one day, a seemingly routine lockdown drill took a horrifying twist. It was an experience that would forever be etched in my memory. As the alarm blared throughout the school, my friend Mike and I found ourselves in the cafeteria, surrounded by a sea of anxious students. At first, we thought it was just another drill, something we'd been through countless times before. We exchanged nonchalant glances, thinking it was just an inconvenience. But as the minutes ticked by and the classroom announcements remained eerily silent, we began to suspect that this was no ordinary drill. The air grew heavy with tension, and nervous whispers spread like wildfire. Something was amiss. Whispers turned to rumors, and rumors turned to panic. A frightening hush fell over the cafeteria when we heard the unmistakable sound of gunshots, followed by terrified screams echoing through the school's hallways. My heart raced, and I locked eyes with Mike. We needed to get out of there. Without a moment's hesitation, we abandoned our lunch trays and slipped away from the cafeteria, making our way through the dimly lit school. The hallways that had once been filled with the chatter of students were now a labyrinth of shadows and uncertainty. Our only guide was the emergency exit signs, casting an eerie, flickering light. As we ventured deeper into the darkness, the chaos outside the cafeteria intensified. More gunshots rang out, and the screams grew louder, sending a chill down our spines. We had no idea what was happening, but one thing was clear: we needed to escape. We finally reached the main entrance, hoping to flee the school and find safety. Just as we were about to push open the heavy doors, a figure emerged from the darkness, a firearm in hand. Panic surged through us as we realized the armored person was coming straight towards us. With no time to think, we darted down a different corridor, narrowly avoiding the armored individual. The echoes of their shoots, ordering us to stop, followed us as we sprinted through the labyrinthine halls. The fear that we were being pursued only fueled our determination to escape. Finally, we made it to the school's back exit, and the sight of the open world beyond was a relief beyond words. Gasping for breath, we stumbled out into the daylight, safe from the horrors that had unfolded within those walls. It wasn't until later that we learned the truth. The armed person wasn't a student from our school, but someone from a neighboring one. Due to the chaos, they had mistaken us for the suspect due to our resemblance. It was a case of horrific mistaken identity, a traumatic experience that would haunt us forever. The lockdown escape was a nightmarish journey, a surreal turn of events that taught us the fragility of life and the power of fear. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes the only road to safety is a path fraught with uncertainty, and that danger can be lurking just around the corner. It was the last day of high school, a day filled with a mixture of excitement and nostalgia. As the bell rang for the final class, I decided to skip it. The reason? Mr. Crab, our notoriously bad-tempered teacher, was notorious for making the last day a living nightmare. Instead, I chose to hide in the school library, a place where I had spent countless hours studying and seeking refuge. The library was a haven of quiet solitude, and I thought it would be the perfect spot to escape Mr. Crab's wrath. As I nestled among the rows of dusty bookshelves, I couldn't help but feel a sense of freedom and rebellion. Little did I know that my decision would lead to a chilling and unexpected turn of events. As I read a novel, time slipped away and I lost track of the world outside. Suddenly, the blaring of sirens and the announcement over the intercom system pulled me back to reality. The school was going into lockdown, and the announcement sent shivers down my spine. It was no drill. Something was terribly wrong. I remained hidden among the library shelves, trying to make sense of the situation. The library's heavy wooden doors seemed like the only barrier between me and whatever danger lurked outside. My heart pounded in my chest as I strained to listen for any clues about what was happening. The minutes turned into an agonizing eternity. In the hushed silence of the library, I heard faint footsteps echoing through the hallways. Panic set in as I realized I wasn't alone. Someone was in the library, searching for me. Was it a teacher, a security guard, or something far more sinister? I crouched behind a bookshelf, trying to control my breathing. The footsteps grew closer, and I could see the shadow of a person moving among the rows of books. Fear gripped me, and my mind raced with terrifying thoughts. Who could it be, and what did they want? The figure drew nearer, and just as I was about to confront this unknown intruder, the person turned a corner, and our eyes met. My heart skipped a beat as I recognized the familiar face. It was Sarah, an old friend I hadn't seen in years. Her eyes were filled with desperation and sadness. Before I could say a word, she whispered, "Please don't make a sound. I'm not here to hurt you. I just needed a place to hide." It turned out that she had been going through a series of personal struggles, and her presence in the library was a desperate act of seeking refuge. We sat down on the library floor, huddled together, and Sarah shared her painful story. Her life had taken a dark turn, and she had nowhere else to go. The encounter had been harrowing for both of us, as fear and uncertainty had brought us to the brink of a terrifying showdown. In the end, I made the difficult decision to inform the authorities of Sarah's presence. It was a heart-wrenching choice, but it was the only way to ensure her safety and get her the help she needed. Sarah surrendered peacefully, and as she was led away, her eyes held a mix of gratitude and remorse. The events of that day were a stark reminder that sometimes the lines between friend and stranger can blur in the most unexpected ways. Hide and seek had brought us face to face with our fears, our past, and the complexities of life, leaving us forever changed by the haunting experience of that last day of high school.